Hello, welcome to the DC Summer Learning Challenge. My name is Justin Coffey and I'm excited to present our first challenge today. Our first challenge is going to be all about Twitter. And so Twitter is something that many of you already have an account, but if you don't, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and sign up for an account, and I'm going to show you how awesome Twitter can be for education. So if you just go to twitter.com, you can go ahead and sign up, and to sign up you just need your name and an email address, a password, and then you need to create a username for yourself. Don't worry too much about the username. If you don't like it later on, you can always change it. I've changed mine 3 times myself. I'm going to go ahead and log into my account though so you can see what it looks like. Oh, I should have typed it in there. That's alright, here we go. Alright, so when you log into Twitter, it will look something like this. And you might, if you're just signing up, you might have an egg over here instead of a picture of yourself, and you probably want to change that to a picture of yourself very soon. And when you first sign up, it might ask you, hey, do you want to follow this person? Do you want to follow this celebrity? And it will try and get you to follow a bunch of people because it wants you engaged in Twitter. So if you're not interested in following any of those people, you can just go back to twitter.com and sign into your account, and you can skip all that beginning following people. Okay, and that way you can just choose people that you want to follow rather than celebrities. I have to say that Twitter has transformed me as an educator. Before I got into Twitter, I never understood what the hoopla was about. I didn't understand why people were so excited. The only people I knew who tweeted were like Miley Cyrus and Kim Kardashian, and I wasn't interested in following any of those. But someone forced me to start using Twitter to follow teachers, and that's when things changed for me. Right now I follow over here, you can see I'm following about 495 teachers, and all of those are teachers. And most of those are like the greatest teachers in the country. And when I started following teachers, what I found out is that they were so eager and willing to share. They always wanted to share things. They weren't keeping any secrets. And so I followed them and I started listening to their tips, listening to their advice, seeing what they were doing in their classes. And it also gave me the chance to ask them questions. If I had questions about why they were doing something or what made them choose this, I'd just send them a tweet, and they were so willing to answer back to me. So that's a really cool thing about educators using Twitter, is they're all about sharing. So as I started following people, some teachers started following me, and nearly all of these 388 people are teachers from all around the country who are interested in what I'm doing in my classroom. So that's kind of cool, and I get to share out what my students are doing. So if you want to make a tweet, you can just click over here in the top right corner, and you can just start typing whatever you want to send out to the world. Challenge. And so you will see that I can't spell very well. Down at the bottom here, there's a little number, and right now it says 59, and that's because when you tweet, you're only allowed to use 140 characters, and that includes spaces and punctuation. So right now I have 59 characters left that I could use to add to this tweet. The nice thing about Twitter is that you have to keep things short and sweet. It's not like reading a novel. They're just really quick little snippets. So another thing that I can do is add a hashtag, and I'm going to talk about hashtags here in just a little bit. So if you're not comfortable with hashtags, that's okay. I'll get you there. Let's see. Alright, so I can create that hashtag, and then I can send out this tweet. And now it's sent out there to the world, and people can search for my tweet by using that hashtag ChallengeDC. So a cool thing about Twitter is when you see something that you like or you see something that's worth sharing, then you can click on retweet. So let me see if I can find something that is worth sharing here. All sorts of things going on in my Twitter. Perfect. So this is a new book that just came out. 50 things you can do with Google Classroom, and it looks like Heather here just got her copy in the mail. I also just got my copy a couple days ago, and I am just like her. I can't wait to start reading it. So I think that that's cool. She has the same book as me. So I'm going to go down here and click on this retweet button, and that's like in Facebook when you share something. You see a post that you like on Facebook and you share it. That's the same thing as a retweet. Another thing that Twitter has is a favorite button, and that's a little bit like the like button or the thumbs up button in Facebook, except it's a little different because Twitter keeps track of all those favorites for you. So if you see something that, and maybe you don't have time to read it right now, and you just want to save it for later, then you can always click on favorite. Like maybe this article about homework versus no homework. I like that idea, I just don't have time to read that article right now. So I'm just going to click on favorite, and then it saves it for me for later. So what I can always do is go back up to my top here and find my favorites. Where are my favorites? I'm not used to using the website, I'm used to using the app on my iPad. So here we go. I've favorited 1,041 things, and if I click on favorites, it will list all those things that I've favorited. So that's a good way to keep track of things if you want to save them for later. Alright, so let's talk about hashtags for a minute, because I know that that's one thing that that is a little bit intimidating, but it's the thing that makes Twitter great, and why I like using Twitter more than Facebook. I like using Facebook because I connect with other teachers on Facebook also, and I'm able to share information with them and connect with them. But my problem with Facebook is if I'm not friends with someone, then I can't see their posts. And so the great thing about Twitter, and you can see my Twitter feed is full of all kinds of information. It's easy to feel overloaded, like there's too much information. And so the great thing about hashtags is it allows you to filter the information. Okay, if I don't want to read about this Education Week article, then I can search and just find things that I'm interested in learning about. So for instance, if I'm interested in learning in project-based learning, I can just go up here to search and type in hashtag PBL for project-based learning and hit enter to search. And so what this does is it goes through all the tweets out there in the world, and it only sends me the ones that are about project-based learning. So these are just all the tweets that people are sharing about project-based learning. So that's really cool. Depending on what your content area is or what you want to learn about, you can just search for those hashtags and learn lots. If you see someone who's saying something smart about whatever you want to learn, if this Mark Liddell is saying smart things about project-based learning, then I can click on him and I can follow him. Looks like I'm already following him. So that's a way to find teachers who are doing cool things in their classrooms, is search for a hashtag that you're interested in and then look for people who are saying smart things and follow those teachers. So with hashtags, another very cool thing about Twitter is there are Twitter chats. And Twitter chats are a design time where teachers decide together, hey, let's get together at 7 o'clock tonight and let's all have a discussion about project-based learning. And so they have a PBL chat, and that chat meets at a certain time on certain days, and you use the hashtag, for instance, PBL chat, and that way you can filter through all the noise and only get people who are talking about project-based learning chat. And they just have conversations. Usually there's one moderator who asks several questions, and then people respond and share and collaborate together all about project-based learning. So there's project-based learning chats, but there's many, many, many other chats if you're interested in chatting. And in fact, today's challenge is to participate in a Twitter chat. So if you don't know what Twitter chats are out there, that's understandable. However, Google is your best friend. If you go to Google and search for educational Twitter chats, then you'll come up with a list of lots of chats. So here's an example of some education Twitter chats, and this just has them sorted by day. So you can see Monday, May 18th, there is this Breakfast Club Twitter chat that happens at 4:30 in the morning. No, thank you. I don't think I'll be up at that time. But there's some great Twitter chats that happen on Monday nights, like one of them is this KS Ed Chat, Kansas Education Chat. This happens every Monday at 8 o'clock, and it's a great way to collaborate and learn from other teachers in Kansas. I participate in that Twitter chat quite a bit. Another one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites, is this TLAP, hashtag TLAP, and TLAP stands for Teach Like a Pirate. And Teach Like a Pirate is kind of a educational movement that's happening right now. It's a book written by Dave Burgess, and he leads Twitter chats about his book and about how to teach like a pirate. And so if you have never looked at this Twitter chat, I would suggest looking at TLAP, hashtag TLAP, and follow that Twitter chat. So I'm not going to tell you which Twitter chat you have to follow, but what I do want you to do is search for education Twitter chats and find one that works for a time for you, and find one that's over a subject that you're interested in, and go back to your Twitter at that specific day, at that specific time, and just type in the hashtag Teach Like a Pirate. And when you click on live, it will show all the tweets that are happening in that with that hashtag. So when your hashtag, the time for you to meet, it's the right day and the right time, then people will be chatting live about that subject. So tonight I'm going to go ahead and follow the Teach Like a Pirate chat. You can see there's lots of other people who are interested in it, and we're all just going to share things about how to become better teachers. It looks like tonight's topic is innovative mindsets for today's classroom. So I'm pretty interested in that. It says ditch that textbook. I've already done that. So I'm excited for that Twitter chat tonight. Your challenge then is to participate in one Twitter chat this week. Doesn't matter which one, choose whichever one you like. And then what I want you to do is tweet about your experience. So the way that you'll do that is you'll create a new tweet and say, I loved the Teach Like a Pirate Twitter chat this week. Something about the Twitter chat that you participated in. And then what I need you to do is include our hashtag. We have our own hashtag, and that is Challenge DC. Challenge DC is the hashtag that we're going to use for this particular summer learning challenge, Challenge DC, and we're going to be using Twitter a lot to share different ideas. So that's why this first challenge is to make sure that you have a Twitter account and make sure that you know how to send out some tweets using hashtags, because this is how we're going to keep track of who is doing what in the challenge. I hope that this video was informative for you, and I can't wait to see the challenges that you complete, particularly this first challenge to participate in a Twitter chat. Thanks for stopping in, and I will talk to you later.